Hey guys, welcome to another episode of We Understand It Now by Go Real Estate Group. I'm sitting here with Yanelli Molina, my partner and broker associate. Yanelli, how are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you today?
Good.
Yeah,
Busy.
I know. We're both really busy. We're kind of wrapping up the year, so we've been trying to handle some last minute things that we need to wrap before the end of the year. So it's
Yes, year-end reviews, year-end closeouts.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think the brokerage did phenomenal this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it
Definitely
was
did.
compared to other brokerages and especially the industry we're in with the housing market
Yeah.
decline in 2025. I think we fared pretty well.
Yeah, I think we've all seen 2025 unfold, and people that were just getting into the business maybe like in 2021, 2022. This is the first kind of year where they're like, okay, what's going on? And this is the roller coaster that a lot of people talk about. So this was one of those years where, a lot of people lost production and they're not producing as much as they did in previous years.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it's just very cyclical. So it's you learn it in economics where
yeah.
every 7 to 8 years
Yeah.
you'll have these ebbs and flows within the economy
Right.
that then you know people experience it for the first time and sometimes they can't survive it.
Yeah.
And it'll be very interesting to see how many real estate agents stay real estate agents
Right.
after this year.
Yeah, especially the agents that just joined real estate beginning in 2021, just because that market is so different from what we have now. And a lot of people actually, this has been kind of an opportunity for them to rise above and beyond what they've done before. Just because when I always tell my agents, like, if you know that the market is going to slow down, what are you doing to balance that out? Because if you're putting just the same amount of effort that you did on previous years, but then you have the market shift, you actually have to input more effort into it in order to have that same production that you had the previous year. So I think that's important as well, because opportunities are there. It's just a matter of having the right expectations, especially with your clients, setting the right price and making sure that they're actual sellers that want to sell the properties. And right now, I feel like as we're wrapping out 2025, we are seeing interest rates go down. So I feel like that's going to be a good start for next year.
Yeah, I mean, the Fed cut the rate last week by a quarter point.
Right.
So we should start seeing the effect of that in the first quarter of next year. But I think they're only going to cut it one time next year.
Right.
So it should drop down to about 3.25 or 3.5 next
Right.
year on the Fed side. So mortgages should be around the high fives, low sixes for most people next year. I think we should see a shift in the market maybe in the last quarter of 2026 in the housing market, where there might be more activity happening. Right now, we're still seeing price reductions. We're still seeing inventory on the market. You have to really think outside the box
You
to
do.
sell inventory that you have on the
Right.
residential side. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm also telling some of our agents too.
Right.
Is okay, you're a residential agent, but you've been in the business, especially the ones that have been in the business longer. If you've been in the business longer, put together now some of your clients and say, maybe start diversifying. Okay, if you can pool together some money, buy yourself an investment property, or or find something else within the real estate industry that is going to create you money and volume. I think that's
Right.
important.
Yeah, because I think during COVID, obviously the housing market was booming like it had not in a while. And a lot of people are just putting in their money on the residential side. But we've seen that in markets like we had this year, what was really booming was the retail and, on the commercial
Commercial, yeah.
side. So a lot of our clients have decided to kind of, put their portfolio together and just, either sell it out or whatever to be able to accomplish and do a purchase on a retail or warehouse versus that, because they see that the profits could be bigger, and also like the maintenance is not as in comparison to residential, it's not the
Rentals,
same.
yeah.
So it's literally, it could be really hands off when it comes to the commercial, but on the residential, you have to, know how to handle like tenants. And so a lot of times, obviously, we have to get property management involved just so that it could be easier for them to do it.
Yeah. I mean, there's property management involved in both, but I think with your residential, you have more deferred maintenance issues. You have more turnover of tenants more regularly. Whilst in commercial, you got a 5 or 10 year lease.
Right.
Residential is a year to year, right?
Right.
And that's the difference in that. But the residential market, the commercial market was so strong this year. I mean, we had all-time highs on
The
full
volume too.
yeah. I mean, tenants, what we had a 97% tenancy rate, which is crazy. 3% vacancy rate is unheard of in the DFW market. And it's only going to grow. I mean, you see the amount of money CBRE just invested in data centers and AI, and now with the Texas Stock Exchange coming to Dallas, the guys in New York are sweating. They're really worried about what's going to happen. Texas and Dallas is going to become a massive hub going forward. I mean, from the stock exchange to Universal to next year's World Cup to there's so much going on here that I think agents in the DFW market have to take advantage of that. But again, think outside the box, right?
Right.
Yeah, and see how best to position yourself within the market next year.
And I think diversity is really what the key is, because like you said, I think I've heard articles and I've read articles where Dallas-Fort Worth is going to be one of the leading markets, especially in 2026 on the housing market. But that goes to say that it's not just on the housing, on the residential side. It's also for the commercial side, because we're growing so much, especially on the data centers that you were talking about. I mean, there's so many plans and still so many people in corporate companies are moving to Texas that's going to allow us to grow further. But it's important for us to not put, like all our eggs in one basket. So diversity is very important, where you're putting some on the residential side, but also some on, investments and the commercial side of it as well.
Exactly. And I think being a broker and yourself being a broker, it's now important that most agents learn both sides of the business.
Yeah.
So those agencies or those brokerages that are fully focused on residential, how will they sustain themselves if they don't have these other lines of revenue that come through? I mean, at Go, we do majority of our volume is on the commercial side. Residential, yes, we do a lot of transactions, but the real volume is really in the commercial side, whether it be commercial leasing or commercial sales or purchases. So diversification in any brokerage is very important.
Yeah, and I think a lot of our clients, that's what they have. They have a portfolio that's full of, where they have residential, they have commercial, they have warehouses, they have a couple of residential, investments and things like that. So I think those type of clients can experience and kind of, because they're seeing the profits from each situation, they can basically make a decision where, okay, commercial's doing better, so let me move more of my capital into the commercial side. And so I think that's very important for us that we have, that no other brokerage has, is that diversity, where we are able to kind of allow our agents or our clients to basically determine, okay, what's going to work better for you? Is it going to be on the commercial side or is it going to be on the residential side? And so that's something that no other really brokerage in the area has, and we're very privileged that has been the case, because I feel this year especially a lot of brokerages are struggling, even though they have 100 agents, really, because only about maybe 10% of those agents are actually producing.
I mean, we went to Tom Ferry, and those numbers were crazy. 10% of all agents in Texas produce, but only 1% of them are in the top.
Exactly.
That do more than 5 million in volume. And we are very fortunate that we have quite a few agents that have already accomplished that.
And we only have about 15, 16 agents, and out of those, I think we have easily more than 50% have accomplished at least,
Exactly.
like 4 or 5 million in volume. So we're very, very lucky in regards to that. And that's not even adding on the commercial side. That's just the residential. So I feel like plans for 2026 are going to be, I think we're going to have a solid year. I think there's still going to happen where we're going to have a market where it's still going to normalize. But then I think like towards the second quarter, we're going to start seeing those numbers increase. So I think it's an opportunity for us to put our all into marketing, into what it is that we need to do in order to get our numbers up as well.
Yeah, and I think that goes with any brokerage. I think the way we have changed the outlook of a real estate brokerage, where we operate more of a family office type, where
Right.
we actually manage clients' wealth and their full asset base, gives us an advantage over other brokerages, right? Even when other agents come and interview with us, they're like fascinated that, oh wow, y'all have expertise in commercial, residential, wealth management, property management, development, construction. It's unheard of,
Yeah.
So it does put us on the upper echelon of our brokerages, although we are a very small boutique brokerage.
Yeah.
But our numbers speak for itself, and maybe it's a way that we could maybe start a new trend of how real estate brokerages should be run.
Right.
And should take effect,
Right.
where you have one broker that is effective on the commercial side, and you have the other broker or partner that he is effective on the residential side.
Right.
So maybe this could be a new invention of the real
Yeah,
estate
for
brokerage.
sure. No, and I think it all depends on the agents that we bring in. And I feel like we've set ourselves where we've determined that being picky on who we bring in is going to be the way that we're going to move forward with this, because if we want to give the opportunities to agents that have worked hard and that have shown that they're able to accomplish their goals on the residential side. But once they were ready to expand and they start getting, clients that are maybe interested on the commercial, it's such a privilege to be able to help with that knowledge, where they're going to get the experience that they need, and they're going to be able to shadow, whatever their clients need. They're going to be able to shadow that in the brokerage and have more knowledge, because I think in our industry, it's not enough to just know one side of the business. I feel like, yes, you can find your niche, but at the same time, you have to be knowledgeable in order to fully understand your client needs, so that it's not just a very tunnel, like a tunnel vision, where it's just like, okay, it's just going to be residential. Like, no, if you actually grab their portfolio and you see that their assets can actually get them into a commercial or retail where it's a triple net, then why not do that instead of the residential? Especially when they don't want, they're more kind of hands off on the investment. I think that's something that we're able to accomplish with our clients.
Yeah, it's an offering that is unusual for other brokerages. I mean, both of us trained under Keller Williams,
Right.
and it's completely different culture. And
It
I
is.
think we've built the culture within the brokerage here. It's different, right?
Yeah.
It's where we are a big family, and we support each other where
Yeah.
we can,
Right.
and I think bringing in agents. That's why we're so picky. When it comes to that.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
to fit into our culture.
Yeah.
And culture is very important at the end of the day.
It is. Yeah. I think culture was the number one thing. Obviously, we want all our agents to feel like they want to come to the office every day. And I feel like that has a lot to do with our culture. And we just had our Realtor Appreciation event last week.
Which is amazing.
So that was really successful. And we had a lot of good conversations with agents that were doing really, really good this year. Even with whatever the market was doing, the government shutdown and everything, they were still able to keep a very solid high production volume. And so a lot of people did. I mean, we interviewed several agents that were interested, and most of it was because of our culture, because they see how we're open with everyone. We're literally an open book. So like I was telling everyone, I was like, I don't safe keep anything. If there's anything that you ask me, I'm going to give you everything that I have, just so that, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. And we cannot grow if we're not able to share our knowledge with other people.
No, you have to. And that is
Yeah.
our way of giving back. Remember,
Yeah.
we come into this world to find a purpose, right?
Right.
And when you find that purpose and you've accomplished something, now it's time to give back that purpose.
That's true.
And the other thing is, we always don't know everything.
No.
You have to keep on learning. You have to keep on striving. You have to keep on pushing yourself, especially with the legacy we are trying to build here.
Yeah.
And I think for agents that watch this, or brokers, other brokers that watch this, I think it's important to understand that,
Right.
and to empower your agents that are under you to think outside the box, and to feel like they have there's an open door policy where you can come and ask your broker for anything, advice, or bring clients in and advise them in a different way. Just talk to someone else.
Right.
They might have a different viewpoint on something.
Yeah.
And I think because we piggyback off each other in that way, we manage to accomplish a lot in regards to that and be successful at it, right?
Yeah. And I think it's all, Trek and Texas Realtors keeps us on our toes all the time because they're always doing changes. So we have new changes beginning 2026 as well on contracts. And I think there's changes on evictions. Now there's going to be like an eviction form as well that's going to be presented this new year that we're going to have to start using, especially for like property management and leases and stuff like that. But I think that's just a starting point. At the end of the day, we have to make sure that we're sharing all the other knowledge that we have in regards to the different sectors of real estate, where it's the property management, the commercial, even the wealth management portion of it. And so having that additional knowledge and actually having agents that want to learn that, I think that's going to be where the brokerage can change a little bit more, the brokerage model basically, because if we're able to provide that in-house for everyone, that's a great advantage that we have over any other brokerage.
Of course it does. And it retains your client.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the most important thing. It's like
Right.
a client will come to us and say, okay, I want to buy this piece of land. We buy the piece of land. Okay, I want to build on the piece of land. We can build on the piece of land.
Right.
Lease that building out. We can lease the building out. Do the property management. We can do the
Yeah.
property management.
Yeah.
So it all stays in-house,
In-house.
and it's retainage of the client.
Right.
And that client's going to refer you to another client. That client will buy a house from you, then a commercial property. And that's just the trajectory of life.
Yeah.
The only thing I've seen different this year, which is fascinating on the wealth management side, is what we had was during COVID, a lot of people made money. So a lot of doctors and businessmen, and they became really wealthy. And they used their wealth in the right way. Yeah, they made a lot of purchases and they built great asset bases.
Right.
But when interest rates went up, when the cost of living went up, I mean, we're talking 30-40% in some sectors. Groceries today, I mean, cost you 30% more than it did 2-3 years ago. They started realizing that, what, all their monies are now being spent on these mortgages or these loans that they've taken against these properties. And suddenly you're asset rich, but you're cash poor. And I've seen this big shift, especially dealing with the wealth management clients, where there's always a need for capital here and there, and they need to make different changes. And what is amazing about Go Real Estate is we're problem solvers at the end of the day. And we can adapt to the client situation and advise them in the best way, whether it be a capital call or whether it be doing a consolidation on their loans, or restructuring on the corporate side. It all assists our clients. And that's, again, retainage of the client.
Right.
And then that client is that, okay, we need to sell X, Y, and Z buildings to purchase this building to keep our sustainability within our different industries and businesses. And because we have the expertise in all these areas, it helps us advise our clients in the best way.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, that makes sense because even on the residential side, I had a lot of clients that purchased at the peak of the market, right? And they're literally upside down at this moment. But because they have an interest rate that is very low, and honestly, their monthly payment is not as high, we have to make sure that if they're not wanting to keep the property, we try to figure out something outside of the box that they might not be thinking about, because at the end of the day, if they just get a regular agent, they're just going to say you're upside down, you're not able to get out of that situation, and that's going to be it. But if we're able to work with them on something that's maybe not so conventional, and we can try to work it out, whether it's by refinancing, consolidating things, then at that point we're giving them an option where they don't have to go outside to look for that, because it's something that we can provide in-house. And it has to do with the relationships that we have with other people as well, whether it'll be lenders, whether it'll be banks, or people like you who actually manage like the wealth management portion of it, that can give them advice on what it is that it's going to be better for them. And every situation is different, because at the end of the day, it's not like their goal. You have to think about what their goal is, not what you think is best for them, because at the end of the day, it's a personalized situation that we have to work with on every individual client.
And everybody has their own sets of issues and their own sets of problems. And I think, it was said that the larger the problem you solve, the more you get paid for that problem.
Right.
Yeah. So being a problem solver is a good thing, but in that you have to advise them in the right way.
Correct.
And as we said, everybody has their own issues and their own problems. And I think getting a different viewpoint and analysis from the experts within that area really assists. Like sometimes they're not everything I can help with. So you bring in the expertise that then can assist us in giving the right advice to our clients, So I think 2026 is going to be another blast of a year for Go Real Estate Group. We got plans to double or triple our volume that we've already done this year. And I think on the commercial sector, we know that there's still growth that's happening. Industrial sector has slowed down slightly, but there's still going to be continued growth, especially on the data center side and the AI side. I mean, Abilene, you got that $500 billion project that's going on there. Someone was telling me about Tyler, Texas right now is in big growth mode.
Terrell too. I was just telling.
Well.
I think they're having a development where it's like 261. No, I think it's more, but hundreds of acres basically is being developed, and we're going to get thousands of houses develop in those acreages, and with that comes like on the commercial side. So now they're kind of concerned because they don't want it to turn into a situation kind of like what Princeton had, where they couldn't keep up with the infrastructure. So they're like, okay, like how are we going to start developing this in different phases so that our infrastructure is not being hit. So Terrell's going to be another one. We're obviously opening the Universal in Frisco as well. Like I think they're planning on opening it between I believe it was May and something around
it's around the World Cup time.
So
June,
we
July.
have that, and then we have the World Cup, and so everybody.
With Dallas hosting the most games in the whole World Cup, 9 games here. I think hopefully our immigration laws change where we do get the supporters coming in. Because the World Cup is massive.
It is massive. And I mean, I don't know how the immigration laws obviously have a lot to do with what goes on and how many people are actually going to be attracted to coming to the games. But I know like in Mexico City, the tickets or not even the tickets, but hospitality when it comes to hotels. I mean, they're selling, they're basically leasing them out for like 10 times what it would be normal. So,
I'm so excited because the first game is Mexico against South Africa.
I know, it is.
I know, in Mexico.
I saw that
it's
in
brilliant.
Mexico City. I know.
And
I was like, we should just go, even if we don't go to the game, we should just go to Mexico
Just go
City.
there just to see it. I have to go for it.
I know.
It's something I have to go for.
I know.
And
tickets are crazy expensive though. I think they were like $50,000.
What?
I was looking into it, and I think they were.
I know they're
grand.
very tiered, and I know some of the games are very expensive.
Yeah.
I know when you go to the quarters, semis, and finals, it does become into the thousands of dollars. But
I mean, but Mexico City's a party city, so like it's not even. It's like what happens before and after the game is what's going to be really exciting.
I mean, I've experienced the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. And that was one of the. It's an experience I can't even explain to you because there's people from all over the world that come there. And whether you're in the stadium or whether you're in the fan parks, there's just this atmosphere and this everybody's togetherness. It's like one sport. Soccer is a sport that just brings the world together. And this World Cup is going to have the most amount of teams from any World Cup. And we just hope that, yes, the worldwide divisiveness and the things that are going on, settles down, and we can use the World Cup as a way for the world to start uniting with each other again. And I think it's going to be a phenomenal time, and it's going to definitely help most industries. The more people that come into the US for the World Cup, those cities are going to flourish. I mean, the amount of money and spending power that FIFA has, and when they come in to bring all the supporters in, it's phenomenal. It's unbelievable.
I think my dad mentioned that I think in 1985 they had the World Cup in Mexico City.
Yes,
so he remembers, like, just obviously people from over the world were there, and they were using the subway to get to all the games. So everybody remembers that as being something really, really nice for the entire economy of the country, as well as just kind of culture. Just for you to be able to meet so many people from all over the world. It's actually a really nice opportunity. So hopefully it's a good time. And hopefully we get to make it at least to an after party or something.
I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal. And I think as a brokerage, we have to take advantage of that too.
We do.
Also we have to advise clients properly. A lot of clients have been calling us. Hey, can we buy Airbnb properties in these locations? I mean, the city of Arlington has totally banished Airbnb completely.
I think Plano too. So we had to,
and so on. So it's also knowing where you can buy properties and so on, and advising your clients in the right way. A few of our clients just bought outside our Arlington. Now a few Airbnb properties. Because the AT&T Stadium is a place where you have to drive to. There's no subway. There's no public transport or anything. But again, you got 94,000 capacity. So it's one of the largest stadiums in the US. That's why we have the most amount of games here. It's quite sad we don't have the final here. I think they should have had the final here. MetLife Stadium is difficult to get to in New Jersey. But it's going to be a great time. And I think 2026 is definitely looking up for us as a country. And definitely us in Dallas, we in the right place at the right time. And I think we have to take full advantage of it. F1 also coming to Grand Prairie. I heard that one too. That would be amazing to see as well. And I think most importantly, we have to remember the Texas Stock Exchange. That is going to be massive. I mean, you already got big boys, whether it be Goldman Sachs, and them already opening up offices here. You got a lot of your high net worth people out of San Francisco and everything moving their offices here. Yes, we have favorable tax laws. We are capitalist state. We have very low income taxes. It is the place to be. And you as a real estate agents out there, you'll have to take advantage of it. If the housing market is low, take advantage of it in some other way. Again, think outside the box. Try to figure out something. I mean, just bounce ideas of other people that have been through these cycles many times. So Go Real Estate Group are here for anybody that needs advice and that wants to try to make their real estate businesses better in whichever way we can help them. But I'm very confident and optimistic about next year.
I am too. I'm trying to obviously diversify as well myself and go more on obviously focus always on the residential side, but also have knowledge on the commercial side. I think it's very important because that's where you're taking your business above and beyond, regardless of, what it is that happens to the industry. I feel like we have to diversify.
Yes, we have to diversify.
And I mean, that's how, it's actually pretty awesome to see, because I remember Dallas-Fort Worth was not as big, when I graduated high school. It was not, we weren't really on the map as New York, LA, Chicago. And so now being able to see how much we've grown in the last year.
Well, we're on the map for sure.
We are on the map for sure. So that's very exciting because a lot of things are happening. I know that they're shooting like films too in like Fort Worth, and they're doing all this other stuff. So it's very exciting to see all that.
I mean, have you been watching Landman?
Yes.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
Mean, that's a phenomenal show that's going on. So, I mean, it's good things that are happening. And I think we are involved. Go Real Estate is involved in a lot of large projects already that's going to hopefully continue our sustainability for many years to come. And I think on the development side, now that you have become more learned in MUDs and PUDs and so on, especially with the larger developments we're doing in Josephine and everything, it's giving us the edge to assist clients in development projects and so on as well. Yeah.
And having a brokerage like this, like I'd never even had an opportunity, and I don't believe any brokerage really would have an opportunity for you to get into development plans, or actually, it's not even about giving you a development project. It's more about just being part of it and being able to see how it works, how a development actually works when it comes to collecting the capital needed and everything that's needed, and everything that goes behind the scenes. Is actually incredible what I've learned, in this, even just last year, in regards to how things like that work. And it makes me more motivated to learn more and obviously be part of these projects as well, because I know that, help is needed as long as you're willing to do the work and willing to educate yourself. Because I think we've talked about it many times. There's not a point in our lives that we should just feel like we know everything, because there's always things to learn. And like I said, Trek and Texas Realtors always keeps us on our toes because they're always doing changes. So it's very easy to identify if you haven't done a deal within the last 6 months, because something changed during those 6 months.
Definitely. Yeah.
And if you're not able to keep up with the trends and with the changes, then you're going to be an easy target for the realtors that actually do know, and keep up with these changes, because you're not being involved and you're not educating yourself. So I think that's a big thing that I push all the agents in our brokerage to get education. Whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that you know how to do it, that you keep up with the changes, because that's gonna outperform a lot of the other agents. Because unfortunately, a lot of agents are just kind of focused on production, and they're not educating yourselves, or they're very comfortable, right? So we have to get uncomfortable in order to grow. So
of course.
Yeah,
you put yourself in a situation and you have to survive. Correct. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer of that. I mean, I work best under pressure.
Yeah. Me too. When it gets slow, I'm like, okay, I can do it later. And then I'm like, no, I gotta, so I get it.
Knock it out. Yeah,
exactly.
And I think we've shown that resilience now over 2 years.
Correct.
Where we've done phenomenal volume, and I'm just so proud of everybody here. And I think
our summer was crazy.
Our summer was crazy.
Our summer was so crazy. And so it was just, we were closing a lot of deals, and we weren't even stressed. Like, we were actually just taking care of everything. So I'm really proud of what our numbers look like this year. And I'm very, very hopeful that next year we're going to be able to double it or triple it, like you said.
No, for sure. We're going to triple it. Yesterday, I was talking to one of our agents last night, and he said, no, we're going to quadruple it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, man, we're going to quadruple it. And seeing that optimism from the agents under you gives you, the broker, the confidence also of hey, you know what, we can actually do it. And if you could do the numbers, I mean, the numbers we've done are as relevant to large brokerages with hundreds of agents. And we've only done it with just 14 agents.
Yeah.
So, yes, there are 34 of us within the office that rely on us on a day-to-day basis. But the volume, we are in the top 1%. I mean, for already larger brokerages coming and approaching us for mergers and acquisitions, just shows that we are already a threat within the industry.
Right.
And it's a statement within itself. And I'm just proud of everybody here. And I think it's just more to come from Go Real Estate.
Yeah.
So guys, just watch out. Go Real Estate Group. You're going to be seeing more signs out there, more of our agents working, and we are going to grow this to be one of the largest in the area for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I mean, we're always, we want to expand. Obviously, if you have a specific niche that you have or whatever the situation is, and you just want to talk about like maybe partnering up with us, we're open to that, because we really literally want to be a one-stop shop for our clients when it comes to their wealth, where to put their money, their investments, their personal property. So we want to be that for sure. And we basically already are, but, I think
we're a family. We basically run a family office.
Yeah.
That has a real estate brokerage component.
Yeah.
We manage people's wealth. We have in-house financing. We can call capital whenever we want. We have now a title company that we are opening. We have the residential, commercial, property management, development, construction.
Everything together.
We are literally a one-stop shop. We also do people's tax returns for them.
Yeah.
So it's we have set ourselves apart from the rest,
Right.
and we shall continue growing. And I must thank you, Yanelli, for being such a support to me. And I think I wouldn't have been able to accomplish a lot of it without you. And this year we've done phenomenal with some personal issues that we've been through, but 2025 was a crazy year.
It was.
And 2026 is the baggage is behind us, and we're just going to rock and roll.
Yes.
And
the dust
really
will
make
settle in 2026. And
Yeah.
I have personal goals, obviously, right? And I do want to get I'm going to get my mortgage license, not so much to practice mortgage, but just kind of like just to have more knowledge, like I said, just because that's one of my things. And I know one of your goals is also to get like your CCIM. So I'm very excited about everything that we're setting ourselves up for 2026.
That's phenomenal. And again, any real estate agents or brokers that need assistance or advice in any of the services that we offer, you are more than welcome to Go Real Estate Group's offices in Plano, and visit us at www.go-regroup.com, or reach out to myself or Yanelli for anything you need.
Yes, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Take care.